Apopka CRA Development Committee to order. We'll say, let's see, Commissioner Smith, you want to just give us the invocation and a pledge, and then we'll do that.
Our Father God, we thank you now for another opportunity to come before the citizens to participate in this endeavor. We ask now for your blessing, for your guidance, and your direction, that all that we shall say will be pleasing and acceptable in your sight. Bless our Father, this mayor, this council, and our audience that are with us today. We ask in thy son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? If so, look for a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Member Bankson.
Second.
Second by Member Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next up, public comment. Anybody from the public wish to speak on anything the CRA? If not, we'll move on to the new business. Jim Hitt.
Thank you, Mayor, Chairman. We have one pretty quick one, I hope. This is just a budget adjustment for 3 different items. The FRA annual membership had gone up. We had been being very conservative. We hadn't been spending a whole lot of money, so I was working with the FRA in regards to the membership fees based on what we were actually spending, which was at the time about $295 a year for the membership. It is supposed to be based on the actual budgeted amount. What we were looking at was what was actually being spent versus the actual budgeted amount. So in this case, this year we've got a couple different major projects. The trail project for the downtown, which is about $2 million by itself. We got some signage work. We've got the assistance programs. So the membership is actually more attuned to the $2 to $3 million range, which is the $995. So we need to increase the budget for that line item. The second one is the 5th Street parking lot, which is now completed. There were some changes that were done out at the site itself. Obviously, when we get out to a site, you can't figure out all the contingencies that are in there for the development itself. But Vladimir was working, one of our staff members was working very diligently with Beasley Construction, and we believe we got a pretty good looking product there. We've gotten a lot of very good positive comments. Parking's a lot simpler to see now. It actually has stripes out there, and we have lighting that you can see where you're going, and the crosswalk is there to get over to the businesses on the south side and also the VFW and the community center. So that project has, I believe that's, like I've been telling people, it takes about 27 years to get there, but it's this is the start of our downtown along with these assistance programs. So that we ended up being short about $11,745, and so what we are looking to do is take some money out of the wayfinding signage, which was originally we put in $50,000. We'd like to take $11,646 out of there for the parking lot, and then the Redevelopment Association, the FRA membership, we needed an extra $750 there. So in conjunction with that, the FRA conference did not go through. They had an online version, so we didn't spend the $850. So I was just going to zero that out, use $750 from that towards the FRA membership, and put $100 towards the 5th Street parking lot. So it's a little bit of shifting back and forth with the funds. And then the last item is the CRA audit. We are required to do an audit every year, and the finance department was able to get that fee separated out for the CRA portion, and that's $4,500. So we actually have to create a new line item for that, which is the $3,200 line item, and that portion is also coming out of the wayfinding signage, which leaves the wayfinding signage a little over $33,854. I do believe that that's plenty of money to start our signage program for the downtown area, coming in for the downtown itself, and creating a pattern for where to go and when to go and who to see kind of thing. That will come into play once we get the downtown trail going, which is about 2.2 miles of trail. And we'll be able to put some trail markers on there for fitness work also. So overall, we're looking to shift funds which total $16,996. It's not creating more money, just shifting them into 3 different accounts. And we're looking for approval.
All right, any questions?
Just
Tim?
again, what pushed that over that budget? Was it just a little here, a little there? Was it something specific that we added that we hadn't?
There was a
through
couple. There was about $2,600 that was from Duke Energy, moving lights and resetting them, putting new ones. The downspouts was an easy one. That was off of Hall's Feed Store. We didn't want to swamp off the new grass that we just laid down. Asphalt work. There was some areas that needed mounding, I guess you could say, in order to make the drainage work properly. Material testing. They had to test the ground so that we didn't have the pollutants on the ground. So that was another one. Electrical work, the conduits underground was a little bit more extensive than what we originally thought we were going to end up having to do in order to make sure we had the coverage for the lumens on the ground itself. Concrete work, there's some curb work that we did that wasn't in there, just for the crosswalk itself, and then also going along 5th Street where the sidewalks were. So it was a little bit of everything, like you just said.
Well, I mean, I love the fact that it sure spruces it up and it gets it ready to draw people in, and that was the whole purpose. So
Yep.
It looks excellent.
Good, thank you. We appreciate that because that was like I said, it was a good project for our downtown, and I think it's the start of something good. So,
Member White, you got any questions?
I'm just looking at that parking lot. It really makes the whole area look so much better down there. It's added a lot. It looks more like a downtown area now. I like it a lot. I think it's
Good. Member Smith?
I've received several comments in reference to the parking lot, and they was all positive. One person asked, we didn't know the city owned that, but they like the fact that it is identified with city markings, so people know that it is a city parking lot.
Now-
So beautiful job.
good, thank you.
Member Becker?
No, I mean, it looks great. I've used it several times, and, to Member Bengson's point, I mean, an overage, I mean, it obviously would have been nice to be right on the money, but, if we factored in originally 10% contingency, really this additional amount represents just shy of 3%, so all told, if we're in 2.5%, 3% margin of error of our contingency, I think that's a decent thing, so.
Real quick, Jamie just reminded me, the reason for the Florida statute has changed in regards to requiring the CRA to have a separate audit. So that was one of the things that's why we now have to do that. They wanted the separation of the funds between what the city does and what the CRA does.
Will that still be under the same audit umbrella and just
I believe
bifurcated
they'll have
underneath
some
that?
audits as-
It'll be
yeah.
part of the same findings that are
Yeah.
accounting, okay.
They just bill us separately now.
It'll have a standalone audit report. It can't be, it has to be separated out. That changed October 1st, 2019 with the implementation for fiscal year 2020. So the auditors included it. It was a part of our audit RFP that we awarded to Maudlin Jenkins. So it will be a standalone report for the CRA to follow the state statutes now.
But our people do, right? I mean, our auditors, yeah. Same audit firm, yep.
Okay, any other questions, comment? Just want to kind of finish out with, we're just got the contract signed to do the flooring in the VFW. So we'll have new flooring, new lighting, new parking lot. So come, as soon as we can get through this COVID thing, we should have a pristine, marketable venue that everybody will be proud of. So we're hoping to get the flooring in probably it depends on the flooring, or maybe the end of the year, if not the first or second week of January, that'll be completed. So
Newkirk Engineering also, we've got a proposal for doing the design for the downtown trail. And Pam and I are going to be reviewing that this week and next to bring that back before the CRA for approval for that contract. So we'll get that rolling.
okay,
Mayor, I think it's also important to point out, too, that we've started on our beautification with our landscaping, too. So I think that's important. We're starting the VFW since we're doing the flooring and lighting. We're also going to, they've made some improvements already, but granted, I think that's an important piece, too. So tie the parking lot, the landscaping, the flooring, and all in so that we have a nice venue to offer.
Yeah, good. Okay, with that, need a motion to approve the budget amendments.
So moved.
Got a motion by Member Becker, second by Member Bankson. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Anybody have any old business? Anything to bring up?
I'd like that our focus is, of course, to get the trail, to move forward on that as soon as we can, and seeing progress there. I think it's a big shot in the arm for the people and, again, for, bringing in that business. That's what we want to bring in, is the revenue there. But also the, beyond the VFW, across the street from there. I don't know what we can do to beautify that other than it being mowed, this and that. I know there's some of the things that were projected about what we're going to do there, but anything that just makes it look more parkish, if we could use that term, that it just beautifies it. And then as business comes in to develop it, I don't know what the game plan is there, but I'd like to see a focus on that.
Yeah, I think when we start to look at the sidewalks, the trail, we want to do the irrigation, could have irrigation. So I think it's irrigation, landscape, and trail all as one. So I think that'll all kind of come together. So as soon as we get this kind of put together, it's,
And are we still going to do like a little a promenade or?
Well, we've got
a little-
3.42 acres there. If we vacate a portion of that Station Street and Fifth Street, that we could, that's the portion that we were looking to go out to bid to bring in somebody that could develop and bring in. It could actually get up to about 50 units, apartments or condos, along with some commercial. And but that would be one that we need to go out to bid for to get somebody to come in and do a good contract for a development proposal to bring in the commercial, residential, and a small park component, and potentially bring the food trucks and things like that right on Central Ave, which would be bring it where it can benefit everybody.
so we'll probably bring that next commission meeting or following, maybe first one in January.
Well, we can do the bid thing, or I've got the bid proposal pretty much ready to go. We need a couple more reviews for it, but that's one that, based on our last commission meeting, we can go out and put it out to bid at pretty much any time.
Well, let's bring it back to the council next council meeting, and just, so if there's things
Discuss
that you want to add to the, kind of the bid proposal.
Ideas.
Kind of like what we did for Sandpiper. It's not a high bid, it's the best bid.
Yep.
So we want y'all to take a look at what you envision that to look like, and then we'll take it from there.
And was there still plan to do like I know at one point there was talking about a little stage there, like community theater, that type of thing. Is that still part of, or it's just kind of, that's one of the ideas that we will discuss?
Yeah, I had that
Okay.
general plan, the draft that was just to get the ideas flowing. So whoever or whatever company comes in that has that experience developing a multi or mixed-use product, they'll be able to propose, stage, pavilion, a meeting area, open space for craft fairs, things like that. And then what they would end up doing is turning that property back over to the city. They'd get credit for the units. That's the big thing with them, is getting the units. And then we would take over the operation of the pocket park, I guess you could say.
And there's some nice words there to use for a future name, pavilion, promenade, different things that sound a little,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
nothing against that place, but.
Not that. That was just to get people talking about it, and it worked.
Yeah.
well, and it doesn't have to be prescriptive, but we can anchor ourselves in it. But we have the visioning document that was done a few years back,
Yeah.
that you can always use as kind of an anchor view of what the vision originally was. And again, it doesn't have to be prescriptive to say, oh, it's got to have this, that, and the other. But at least it kind of gives a general sense of what we would want that space to look like. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, we will close the public hearing. 10 minutes.